Well, good morning. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, we can. Okay.
Okay.
We are live, and we are going to dive into the show properly in a couple of minutes. And I know one or two people are talking about all sorts of stuff on the chat room already, especially about Felicia Day's stream. I know Andrew Dickinson is a massive Geek and Sundry fan, so he's been following certainly Felicia Day's efforts yesterday, which was 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Which was rather cool. Also following, and I think we'll talk about this really quickly before we kind of get into the Comic-Con stuff. Has anyone paid attention to the Critical Role Kickstarter? Has anyone been paying attention to this thing?
Only your tweets, actually.
Yeah.
I'm seeing your tweets.
Right. Considering that, this is for, I mean, Andrew will tell you that they've had Critical Role Kickstarters before, and they've been for like board games, they've been for slightly bigger things, and they've done incredibly well. But I mean, this is the first one that I've really paid attention to, and it's for D&D figures. Okay, and they were wanting to raise, with conversion, £20,000. Okay, they've raised $500,000.
Oh my God.
and wow. The rest, it's just gone, and you just go, okay, I understand why they've gone independent now. Because they've got not only a major audience, but a major audience which is willing to pay money. They're happy. I mean, they're very, very settled. But no, incredible stuff. Yeah, so we're going to talk about all sorts of stuff. That's what this show's all about today. It's all sorts of stuff day. It's the big block of cheese day. There you go. There's one for the West Wing fans in the room.
Okay. I was like, what?
Okay, this is where Andy, who is seriously into WB and DC, is West what now?
I know Greg was on that show.
He was indeed.
That's about it.
Basically, the West Wing is what a lot of centrists and left wingers would like America to be, but it ain't. But yeah. You know, what can you do? What can you do? Okay, it is the top of the hour, so let's dive straight in. Welcome to Talking. Okay, sorry. No, we'll wait. We'll wait.
Sorry.
Cough over my intro. Why don't you?
Welcome, the professional crew here today.
Not today. Not today. Talking Comic-Con with a cup of tea with an Englishman in San Diego. My name is Leonard Sultana. Welcome to you. This is a show where we talk about San Diego Comic-Con. We talk about all the things that are we're getting excited about in just over 2 weeks' time.
Oh my God!
Oh, good God! Okay, yeah, it's the 1st of July. No. It's this month. It's here. So we've loads of stuff we're going to get into. But this is our kind of Grand Malay show. It's our everyone dives in, and by all means do jump in. I've posted the link to the hangout on the.
Bad idea.
I know. I posted it on the chat room. I mean, heaven knows. If you just want to dive in for like 2 minutes and just sort of talk about what you're excited about. If you start getting abusive, we'll just kick you out. It's as simple as that. I mean, I can do that. But as it happens, we've got ourselves a great bedrock of fantastic guests already who have joined us. We have ourselves from left to right on my screen, Andy Baybacks from the Marvel Report. Hello, Andy. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm sorry, I'm coughing. Hey. Wow.
It's a great start. Bless the show.
I'm just gonna be quiet.
Andy, how are you? And yeah, how are you doing at the moment?
I'm just waiting for someone to cough again.
No, we'll be good.
No, I'm doing well. I'm just a little tired. I did like a 10-11 hour podcast marathon yesterday for charity. Wow. So yeah, I was on almost every one of my damn shows. I'm kind of getting to the point. I'm like, why have I created so many damn podcasts? And we had technical issues and so on, but I know it was a great event. We went beyond our goals. So it's the day after. It's almost like a hungover because I woke up. I'm like, I have a headache in my throat. That doesn't feel right.
That's not where headaches are supposed to be. I did basic biology. I'm certain that's not how it works.
I slept through biology.
Listen. What you need to remember is the good work that you did. Okay, the charitable work that you did. So you can't take away from that. And fair play and hats off to you, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It was a hell of an effort, and I managed to jump in a couple of times, and you were doing great guns. You were doing really
You
well.
were in the chat. Why did you tell me?
No, I'm a stalker. I'm kind of I lurk in the background. You see, that's the thing. When we have the game of bloggers, I'm going to show up and hide at the back of the room for 10 minutes, and no one's going to see me. I'm going to be
until you cough.
Going to be hiding like this. until I cough. Yeah, okay. So okay, it's great to have you along. Let's quickly go through down the rest of the line. We got ourselves Leanne, who's joining us, who's always great fun to have on the chat room, and it's always great to have her on the on my Twitter feed. But it's great to have you on the hangout as well. Hello, Leanne. How are you?
Hello. I'm trying not to panic since you said how many days are left, because I still have like a ton left of cosplay stuff to finish, and I'm starting to panic right about now. So
fair enough. Yeah. I mean, what are you cosplaying separate things throughout the whole weekend, or?
Well, a lot of it is my daughter's. I've got all my stuff done because I got all my stuff done like 2 months ago, but she added stuff, 2 weeks ago that she decided big stuff. So I have a Captain American shield that still needs to be finished and painted, and an assault rifle that needs to be finished and painted.
Okay. Well, I mean, we can kind of get into that as well, because we had a couple of policies things that were posted by CCI as well. So I'm wondering how that's going to affect your cosplay. But it's great to have you here. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Not a problem. We've got Michael P joining us from the Friends of Comic-Con Forum. Hello, Michael. How are you?
Well, good morning. How are you guys doing?
You are filling in for Alyssa again. we may just have to not have Alyssa on and just have you.
We're not even going close to going
there.
We're not even close to going there. I am not getting in the middle of that. You're not getting me in trouble. But she was here a couple of days, and we had a really good time. We had several mojitos, perhaps. Several adult beverages.
I am spotting a theme with who she's staying with, and sort of like drinking sessions, which listen, that's up to her. She's enjoying a time.
Drinking across America.
It does seem to be that's the way it's gone, isn't it? It's fantastic. And thank you very much indeed for joining us, Michael. And we have Stephanie. Hello, Angel. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good.
Have you recovered from your visit?
She didn't visit me.
Oh, okay.
I'm out in Hawaii. It's a little hard for her to drive here.
Of course. Sorry, no, I'm getting. Yeah, sorry, I thought, never mind.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I'm in the middle of the ocean. No one can visit me. It's really hard. But no, yeah, I'm doing good, getting ready, getting things organized. I already have my first conflict at the convention, and the schedule isn't even live, so that's how it's going.
I mean, well, we're going to dive into that in a second very quickly. I know that we've also been joined by Captain Leondus, but at the moment, I think either his camera's not working or something's not working, so he's not with us he's with us in spirit. Like I say, if you do want to jump in and say hi to everybody and sort of just mention about what you've spotted and things that you want to get excited about when it comes to Comic-Con, you scroll up the chat box. There is actually the link, and I know that's the last time I'm going to mention it now, because frankly, if I keep mentioning it, then it could go a little bit messy. But anyway, we'll dive in. First things first, I think a lot of people have been seeing all the panel announcements over the last 2 weeks because the actual companies themselves and the panels themselves have been given the authorization to announce their own panels. While these are not official, because at the end of the day, it's also the reason why I haven't posted mine yet. They're not the CCI official schedules. They are going to go live next week. But let's talk about highlights about what you have seen. I mean, Angel, you said you've already got a clash. What have you spotted?
Yeah, so I'm gonna be going to the From the Bridge panel, which is a documentary like about the evolution of science fiction, and I've actually been invited to like have a reserved seat for that panel, but I had already submitted my exclusive raffle slots, and one of the exclusives I applied for is at the same time as the panel. Obviously, the panel is the top priority, and I have other slots I applied for too. So now I'm just hoping that I don't get that one-time slot. I should have probably waited.
Fair enough. Very quickly, if we are going to talk about panels, if we can actually just mention where and when they're going to be. So that's the From the Bridge panel. It's going to be Ballroom 20 on 10 a.m. on Thursday morning, isn't it?
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah. So it's starting as you mean to go on. Wow. Okay, fair enough. Michael, is there anything that you've kind of spotted that jumps out at you?
I'm actually looking at that same panel too, because I actually know some of the people that are working on it behind the scenes, and so it looks like it's gonna be really good, and especially the documentary, because supposedly there's archival footage that we've never seen before. So I really wish they'd actually done a showing of the actual documentary at Comic-Con. Personally, I think that would be the perfect place for it. So that's what I was actually looking forward to. But supposedly we're supposed to get some really good footage, and hopefully they're going to show the footage at the panel too. So yeah, that's like #1 on my list right now. Plus, obviously, you know that there's going to be Amazon's doing a panel where they're bringing a whole bunch of showrunners from their shows. And as you obviously know, The Expanse has moved over to Amazon, and so Noreen Shakar, who's the showrunner for the Expanse, is going to be on that panel too. And it looks like it's going to be a great panel, so I'm looking forward to that panel as well.
Yeah. Friday at 3:30 in Ballroom 20.
Okay.
Tentatively.
Yeah.
I mean till we get the official schedule, but yeah, Friday looks like it.
The other thing about that is like, some of these panels, it's like running back and forth, because if it's at Indigo Room and you're going to try to get to Ballroom 20, in that same day, I wonder how that's actually going to work for some of us and stuff. That's the other issue, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be tough. I mean, I also want to very quickly talk to Andy, considering that, I mean, obviously your priority is going to be about the Marvel stuff. Considering that it starts pretty much from the word go, I mean, you've got sort of Marvel content across the board from Thursday all the way through. I mean, you're going to be pulled from pillar to post, sir. I mean, what have you spotted that's kind of jumped out?
Well, I'm excited for what Marvel TV is bringing. I'm glad that at least Marvel TV is doing things, since Marvel Studios is not going. I'm really happy that Cloak and Dagger. It's because Cloak and Dagger so far has become one of my new favorite Marvel shows of all time, because it's really deep, it's very profound, and whatnot. And so I'm looking forward to that. I don't know if I actually get to do any of the panels, because sometimes some press rooms conflict and whatnot. So, but I last year I did one panel, I think, and that was it. So I hope this year I kind of want to do some more panels if I have time. But I've actually been paying a lot of attention to the DC stuff as well, because besides the Marvel, I do a bunch of DC stuff too and so on. So it's a juggle, but luckily it's all Marvel stuff is almost all on Friday, and then all DC stuff is on Saturday. So it's kind of I can be dedicated to both sides, and they don't conflict.
Fair enough. I mean, there's certainly. I know that we've got somebody who's joining us, Graham, who's on the chat room today. Hello, everyone. By the way, if you want to dive in with any comments that you've spotted, any panels that you've got your eye on, I know that Graham's turned around and said that he's not convinced about the strength of Hall H this year, and he's also not convinced by the Thursday. I actually think the Thursday's really quite strong. I mean, considering you've got that Marvel animation panel, which is in 60e, Marvel Rising, which I has caught my attention. You've also got the Star Wars Clone Wars 10th anniversary panel.
Right before that is
that's
Voltron.
nice.
Voltron will be in the same room right before that.
That's going to be a tough room. that's going to be something else. That's the thing is, I mean, so while I say it's a tough room, while it may be a slightly small or relatively small fandom for both those, in the wider context of fandoms, it's really intense. So it's going to be a locked-in room. I mean, it's going to be fun. I mean, I think even sort of the Thursday for the Hall H, I mean, Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad reunion is going to be a lot of fun. And also the 20th Century Fox Predator, which could be interesting. Although that time's unknown, but I suspect that's going to be a little bit earlier on, because Hall H like going strong from the first couple of panels on the Thursday.
I'm asking for a friend. If you haven't seen the other Predator movies, can you still watch the latest one that is coming, or is that a reboot or something?
It's a new Predator film.
Okay.
Set in contemporary America, directed by Shane Black, starring the guy who was in Logan, and starring a whole bunch of others as well. It's quite a cast. It's pretty impressive. But I think the fact that it's Shane Black, who starred in the original, has directed some great films up to now. I don't think it's going to be a Christmas movie like his other films that he's done. But I think it's going to be. I'm up for it. Admittedly, the trailer has teased that we're going to be seeing some kind of super predator. So, yeah. How do things improve in movies nowadays? Make them bigger. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit like that.
That is kind of what she said.
Okay. Setting the tone.
Okay.
So one of our big ones that we have to do was, the Voltron panel. Like, if we don't get to Voltron, my daughter will probably kill me. So I might as well, because that is like the one she's looking forward to. And then lucky enough, we have Clone Wars right after that. And then Friday evening, which is a weird time, is 7:30 for Preacher.
Yeah.
On Hall H, 7:30 at night.
Apparently so.
Mm-hmm.
Wondering that one.
I mean, 6BCF. It's not the biggest room in the world, and I'm wondering if they've whether they thought it through. Frankly,
last year for Voltron, we filled that room to capacity. Yeah. So.
I'm thinking that they're underestimating the Voltron fandom, because I follow a lot of people that are in that fandom, and that fandom's intense. Like, I'm surprised it's in that room. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah. They're intense would be dedicated.
I'm also curious about the crossover between Voltron and Clone Wars, whether it is going to be a mass shuffle as people leave. Because, like I say, they're intense fandoms, and I'm sure that Leanne, you'll tell us it's Voltron or nothing.
Yes, it is.
And likewise with Clone Wars. So
yeah. Well, and then lucky enough, it's a good enough crossover for both of us, because we both watch both those. I mean, she is more intense on the Voltron, and I'm a little more intense on the Clone Wars. But seriously, I mean, I might as well not come to San Diego if she can't get into that Voltron panel. Yeah, I mean, that is,
no pressure.
Put in my food, something will happen. Yeah, that's definitely, it has to be done. Same with the Preacher though panel. She wants. I mean, that's one of her other favorite shows. We don't get.
That's going to be a lot of fun, and not only that, but all the cast seem to be showing up. So that's going to be a fun one. We've got a couple of questions jumping in on the Q&A already. We've got Super Cat Chick who are asking, does anyone know if Jamie Lee Curtis is going to be on the Halloween panel? I think it's right after Predator, but both are movies that I'm crazy excited about. Very good question. I have got my notifications set for Jamie Lee Curtis. She's not really talking about that at the moment. It's very much about American politics at the moment. So the moment she starts getting into Halloween promotion mode, that I'm sure we'll find out. What else have we got? Let's see, we've got ourselves. But Graham Small's pointing this out, and I'm sure that everyone here will kind of back it up as well. The panels seem to be really going later this year. They're really kind of filling out the schedule all the way to the very end. I mean, Michael, what's been your take from what you've seen so far of kind of like the late programming?
I've seen that too, but Leonard, we saw that at Denver Comic-Con too. So these things are starting to go to like 8, 9 at night, and it's because they're pushing the envelope. They have so much they got done in a very short period of time. So did I drop out?
We kind of lost you there for a second.
Okay, am I back now, or am I still gone?
Sorta.
Cops-wise, if your connection as well.
Yeah, it was a bit of connection.
It's gonna be one of those days. My computer's been acting up all day long. Of course, since I'm doing this, that's the reason why it's acting up. Otherwise, it'd be fine. So,
welcome to my world.
Life is just getting good, isn't it? But the whole point is that I'm trying to make on this is, it wants to do a backup now too. So it's just having a great time. No. Alexa talks to me. She tells me what she wants and stuff like that. And so now apparently my computer is taking over too. My TV is turned on. I swear to God.
You are just getting bossed around, man. It's terrible. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, then. I mean, so like I say, we've been talking about the late programming, and it does look like we're kind of getting into. I mean, certainly we saw late programming for smaller panels, but now it seems that we're getting later for the bigger ones as well. But in terms of also the rest of the week, it's also filling through into Sunday as well. We're seeing very strong content from
Legion is late on Sunday in Hall H. Which is weird because usually we're done in Hall H, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock was the latest it usually goes. But Legion is late on Sunday.
2:15. Yep, Hall H. Yeah. I'll be at that one.
Me too. I'll be there.
Yeah.
I will be there as well. I think we're all going to be kind of meeting up there. Yes, that's. I mean, if anyone's been a regular viewer of this, you know that has been my show of the year, and I will be.
Same.
If anything, because I got tickets to Conan last year, and the second that they got confirmed and in my inbox, Legion got announced as the panel, and that was painful.
Wait,
but no, I will not be missing Legion this time round. So,
has it been renewed yet?
Sorry.
Yes. Legion's been renewed.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
But here's my worry about Legion. I'm hoping that it is the last panel of the day in Hall H, because some people have speculated that they're going to put Doctor Who after it, which would be extremely late. Like that would be 3:30 to 4:30 on Sunday, which would be. I don't know if they could go that late.
Supernatural Riverdale will be at in the early in the morning and so on. So there's a good chance it could be like by 1 p.m. or something.
Yeah, that's.
Supernatural, Riverdale, Mayans, Legion. That's the lineup so far in that day.
Yeah. I mean, I was under the impression that it was kind of going to dovetail into Mayans, that they're doing kind of like a joint panel, which I think is a supremely bad idea because of the anticipation for the Doctor Who panel, considering who you've got on there. You're wanting to hear Jodie speak. You want to get a sense of this woman. I suspect we're also going to be seeing footage of this show as well. Happy clapping. So it is where it's going to be. I mean, Andrew Dickinson is saying 2:15 was Doctor Who year, wasn't it? Yes, it was. It was also a walk-in, and I know that because I did it twice. I left, did something else, and came back. It was a walk-in. You could get into that room. I think this year is going to be a little bit tougher, but it's still. I mean, I think we kind of underestimate how 6,500 people. It's a big room. So you can it can be done.
Leonard, let me just point out. Remember last year though, is that on Sunday they actually took away some of the seats. Does everybody remember that? They actually took away some of the seats last year.
Yeah,
so
they did.
yeah, so
that's weird.
Yeah, but I remember that because I noticed how much more space there was in Sunday. You know, in terms of the back, you could always see you could actually see space in the back. On Saturday, you know, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, there was no space in the back. They had packed that thing all the way to the very back, and then on Sunday, there was actually space in the back area. So it's just something to think about, folks. I'm hoping that if they put Doctor Who on Sunday, they won't do that in anticipation that everybody wants to see it. So
yeah.
I'm hoping it's just not on Sunday. I'm hoping they put it on another day.
Yeah, I mean, there is that. I mean, heaven knows the Doctor Who panel is in the air. We have yet to find out who our new panel moderator is going to be. So it's very much up in the air. Like Angel says, I mean, we could be looking at a later Sunday. To be honest, I have no problem with that. That means we get a full day. Instead of like, because it always has felt like a half day,
right?
You know what I mean? And you kind of like the Hall H finishes. There's no Ballroom 20, so you kind of like go, oh right, so I am doing the exhibition floor then. Right, fine. So you kind of get that, and I think even Comic-Con are wanting to kind of, oh no, it's a full day. Let's make a full day of it. So. Yeah, they're programming all the way to the end. I am trying to work out, and I'm suspecting, I'm hoping that the Doctor Who panel isn't earlier than Legion, because I am wanting to try and be into 6A for Marvel Animation Presents. Is this the panel where they're doing Spider-Verse, or has it got its own separate panel?
Spider-Verse it will be on Friday in Hall H.
Oh man.
Hey, I don't make the decisions. I only deliver the news.
Listen. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Teamed up with Venom. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Fine.
Venom is going to be amazing.
But what about Aquaman? What day are we getting Aquaman, though, guys?
That's going to be up. That's Saturday morning. WB. Sure? It's going to be that's what they're going to open the doors with, as usual. Yeah.
Wow. So that's but you might be able to get in afterwards though, because if people leave after Aquaman or something.
Well, there will be Shazam.
Shazam? Yeah.
Well, I mean, people have, if anything, that is the one thing people have been talking about when it comes to Saturday in Hall H, because I mean, the only panels that are confirmed are Animation Show of Shows at 1 and the RZA Movies, Music and Martial Arts panel. I know. I hear giggles across the board here.
I was surprised that they got such a good time. I've seen the press on that. I actually like that these guys are actually doing martial arts again in America. I mean, you know, because we've had kind of like a paucity of it, and the reality is they actually do it right, as opposed to another show. I won't mention Iron Fist, but you know. They But you know, it's like Into the Badlands, and these guys, they actually do right. I mean, they bring in the Chinese masters who actually, you know, really know how to film the martial arts scenes and fight scenes and stuff, and they're just incredible. And so I was surprised they got such a prime spot, though. I'm serious. I don't know how they did that. I swear to God, I don't know how they did that.
I think with RZA there, that's one thing, but I think it's also the fact that you're going to have Wesley Snipes and Terrence Howard in the room. That's not a cast to sniff at.
That's true, but you know, 6ABF. I mean, that seems like that's more appropriate for this one. I think it's great that they get the amount of exposure that they do. I mean, like I said, I love the fact that these guys are actually doing great martial arts, but I'm just puzzled by it. But you know, let's see what happens.
I'm also curious to see if we're going to get another Entertainment Weekly Women Who Kick Ass panel, and whether that's going to be announced after the 4 o'clock slot, or for the 4 o'clock slot for the RZA thing, because it was Charlize Theron last year, wasn't it? It was a dedicated, focused panel. I have no problem with them. I mean, I like the interesting programming in between the bookends on Saturday. So I'm personally curious. It's like you say though, Michael. It's whether people are going to go to do the WB panel, and then there's going to be this influx of people who are just going to leave. It all depends on what's going to get announced at the end of Saturday. That's, I think, where people are going to, because we're not having Marvel, or it's not going to be a Marvel Studios panel per se. So we don't know. I mean, what's your thoughts, Andy? I mean, do you think? I mean, there's the rumors that we could be getting a first 10 years panel, but no cast. I don't know. What's your thoughts?
I think if we get any other Marvel content in Hall H that day, it's probably gonna be 20th Century Fox, because at this point they gotta be have something ready to show us for Dark Phoenix. I want another New Mutants trailer because I'm really excited for that movie. But I don't know if the purchase of Disney buying Fox is complicating those things, but. It would be weird to do a 10-year anniversary panel and not have any cast members there, because I mean, who would you do with? Like, would you do with just Kevin, like a big Q&A with Kevin Feige where he just answers every question that Matt Marvel has been having for the...
Hey, if they can do it with Joss Whedon, they can do it with Kevin Feige. Just have him on stage talking for an hour.
I would have come front and be like, listen. Where's the love for my boy Coulson in the present Marvel movies? I'm excited for him in Captain Marvel, but I want to see my favorite Avenger back on the screen. Like, he should have been in Avengers Infinity War, and also he should be in the fourth one. I'm done.
Fair enough. By the way, very quickly, just to touch on your thoughts on the rumored title for for Avengers 4.
What rumor?
Is it?
What?
What? Tell us.
Listen, it's been
You're supposed to have your finger on the pulse.
Yeah.
Listen, it's been a long.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Just take
the beans, Lenny.
Oh, I will look. Let me look.
Hands up, who's heard this one? I think.
No.
No. Okay. Basically, the cinematographer for Avengers, and also he's done a number of the other films as well. He's updated his bio on his website. And put the title of the film in.
Oops.
Let me see.
It is rumored to be Endgame. So that's where we are.
Fired.
Admittedly, I mean, Andrew English did turn around and say the Russo brothers did say that the title was never mentioned in Infinity War, and Endgame is obviously mentioned in the film. So yeah, okay, Andrew, fine. I'm going with what we've seen, and that's the rumor. So anyway, right, okay.
Is he getting fired, by the way? Do you think?
Sorry.
I mean, if he listed the freaking title on his resume, whatever.
He's already filmed it.
Well, I mean, okay.
They've already done it.
Let's see.
He'll never be working in Marvel again.
Oh, well, there's...
Oh, he's up there now. It says Avengers 4 only. Okay.
Fair enough. Mark Serby's convinced he's just trolling everyone. Andrew English, he's not convinced. Fair enough. Anyway, right. Moving on. Like I say, I just wanted to touch on it. So in terms of what you have seen, what would you say is your strongest day so far? We'll start with Leanne. I mean, you've said you've spotted individual panels, but what's your strongest day? If anything, like we've talked about with those clashes, I mean, where have you seen the content really kind of overwhelming you so far?
Really, Thursday is like the big day, and then my other one is Sunday, because we're really going to be stuck in Hall H all day, and because we have Supernatural and Doctor Who and Legion, and there was a bunch of other little panels on Sunday I'd like to go see. I'm sure of it. That's the bigger ones, and just making sure that we get in that panel on Thursday. Thursday morning. But yeah, I mean, because there's always these little wonderful panels on Sundays that I like to go see. But if we're going to be stuck in Hall H all day, especially if there's going to be a big between Supernatural, and because I'm not real big on Riverdale. Sorry, Andy.
What?
Sorry, Andy.
What was that?
Nothing.
Okay. Okay.
No. I'm sure I'll love Riverdale if I ever get around to watching it. But,
Streaming on Netflix right now. Catch it Wednesday, 8 7 on the CW. They did not pay me to say that.
Those are the big ones. I mean, I'm worrying about that conflict there, on Sunday. But
okay.
other than that, until the schedule is actually in stone, I can't really make a decision on what other stuff we want to make sure we go see.
Fair enough. Michael, I mean, what's been the chatter on the forum so far? I mean, what's been the day that everyone's kind of talking about the most?
I haven't been watching it as close as I should have. I think a lot of people are just waiting too. There's just whenever you make these kind of plans and they haven't finalized their schedule, you're going to get surprised. And we always have to fight over what we're going to wind up going to see. But I still think Sunday is incredibly strong, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I agree with Leonard. I like the idea that they actually go later, so that Sunday's a full day. I mean, a lot of people can only go Sunday, so I think it's great that they're doing such wonderful things for people on Sunday. And Saturday is so packed. Sometimes you don't want to take your children, there, because that's a lot of information coming at kids. But right now, the forum, there's not a lot of huge, people talking about, going crazy over the days. I'm waiting to hear that break pretty soon because everybody's still worried about their hotel rooms and making sure their hotel rooms went over to the hotels, and that's a bigger issue right now than even the the rooms. I mean, no, seriously. I mean, well, Andy and I and Leanne, we're all kind of tied together with our rooms, and
Team Hilton.
I'm there too.
Yeah, so that was kind of stressful there for a while, right, guys? Remember that? So I was like,
it was very stressful.
So we're holding off to get stressed out until we get the actual date. But this is one thing we haven't mentioned Wednesday. I like watching those pilot films. I don't know about anybody else, but I love seeing the pilot films because every once in a while you see these shows and you get the head start on it, and some of them are so good. Manifest looks interesting to me.
We do not have preview night this year. First year, no preview night. So this is strange for me not being there on preview night. So find something else to do that night.
Party.
Yeah.
Parties.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, I'll be that one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a lot of the WB stuff that they've announced, and it's like you say. I mean, there's some really interesting programs in there that I'm up for looking for as well. I'm thinking that the way that they're going to do the actual preview night schedule is the way that they've announced them, and thankfully the one that I want to check out is at the beginning of the day, or the beginning of the preview night. And I'm just trying to find the listing for it. If anyone can share that with me, I'm sure I had it somewhere to hand. But there we go. I'm going to try and track that down while I try and get someone else talking. In that case, Stephanie, what's been your thoughts on the strongest day? I mean, there's so much that's scattered throughout, but there's going to be some days that you really are kind of stuck.
So like Leanne, I only have Thursday and Sunday at this point, and Friday and Saturday are blank. But for me, since there's no confirmation that Doctor Who is on Sunday, I'm very conflicted because every year I only will do one day in a big room, like either Ballroom 20 or Hall H. And I'm definitely doing Legion on Sunday in Hall H. So if Doctor Who is on a different day in Hall H, I'm just going to be seeing a lot of that one room at this convention.
Yeah.
So I'm a little stressed waiting for that to be officially confirmed. So I don't know.
Okay. Fair enough.
She looks so scared.
I know, because Hall H is scary.
Yeah, it's looking awkward. Especially also now that we've got ourselves another new element as well. Let's move away from panels just for a little while, and let's talk about something that was revealed at the beginning of the week, or sort of like Monday, Tuesday. I'd love to know what the forum was like when it finally got announced, because we knew that we were going to be getting some companies doing and using the CCI exclusives portal. We also knew that Marvel wasn't going to be involved, and because Marvel had confirmed that they won't be using the CCI option. But then they did release who was. Funko.
Chaos.
Lego. Mattel.
Chaos.
That site crashed.
Hasbro, sorry. And
that site crashed. It crashed. It crashed, remember?
What the hell?
Oh, yeah. That was mayhem.
It crashed.
Yeah.
The fact that they got those three companies involved is just remarkable to me.
I can't believe they got Funko. I honestly never thought that was going to happen.
I'm
Ever.
thinking it is a case of now they're just wanting to get rid of the lines. They just they're wanting to get rid of the lines, and the only way they could do that is just take it virtual.
Well, I actually worked the floor one time. I actually volunteered to work the floor. I never will ever in my life do that again. I swear to God. It was frightening. I'm not kidding. I'm not even exaggerating. People lost their minds. I mean, they just lost their freaking minds. And control it. I mean, they'd lie. They'd cut the line. One person cut the line. I'm standing there. She cut the line in front of me and is swearing to God she didn't cut the line. I saw her. She literally did in front of me.
Outlander line? Was that the
I don't know.
Because those ladies had lost their effing minds.
Oh my God. Never. I swear to God. And I wish to God they do it for everything, because literally you can't control. I mean, we had people screaming, and it was chaos. It was. I'm not lying. I'm telling you the honest to God truth. It was frightening. It was really.
It sounded like the Hunger Games, for God's sake.
Oh, Jesus. They do. I mean, everybody needs to do that because the booths are responsible for their own minds. Oh my God, those guys were absolutely worthless. Just worthless.
I mean, for myself, I think it's all about TCI wanting to reduce their lines, and that's their priority. But it's like Roshan has stated, and it does make two very important points. Number one, for dedicated hardcore fans, say, for example, of Mondo, of Hasbro, of Funko, it's going to dilute those figures, because now everybody with a member ID has got access to applying for the lottery spaces, which means you're going to be seeing a lot more flipping. You're going to be seeing a lot more reselling on, say, for example, on eBay. So that's number one. Number two, those people that haven't got the slots and haven't won what they needed to on the exclusive portals, where do they now go? Where do those lines, where do those people now disappear to? Is it going to be the exhibition floor? Where do those people just get folded into? I mean, what's people's thoughts? Let's go with Stephanie first. What was your first initial reaction when you saw the companies involved, and then you thought of where it could pan out to?
So I'm one of those people who never tried to get exclusives before because of the lines. And then I applied this year, so I'm kind of the person that some of those hardcore people that camp out are a little mad at right now. But I applied for Funko slots for Wednesday and Thursday. And as I mentioned earlier, there's already a conflict because I have a Thursday panel. But yeah, like the general feeling I have is that a lot of the people that are used to camping out and putting in the effort and doing it that way now see everyone else who doesn't do that, like me, applying. And I don't know. I feel kind of bad, but at the same time, I still applied. So,
right. I mean, there's another thing as well. I mean, you don't have to apply yet. You don't have to go get your you don't have to apply for slots. I believe the cutoff point is the 12th. Oh no,
July 12th.
12th. Yeah. We've got ourselves Andrew English on the chat room saying, I'm not going to go for any slots as yet because I don't know what is on when until Thursday. He wants to wait until the panels are nailed down and then plan his exclusive applications around the confirmed schedule, which is understandable. But then again, we have learned that you can, in fact, just apply for everything and see where the shit sticks. It's just, it really is just throwing it at the wall and just going with that. Andy, I mean, I don't know what your take on this is. I mean, do you do exclusives? And if you do, is this encouraged you to now possibly apply for some?
I tried one year. I was shook. I waited for hours. Nothing. It was a big flunk. I went to one of my friends, and they were like, "You look, you saw it goes." I'm like, it felt like death. I was like, "What is this?" Like, there's no guarantee of getting what you want or whatever, and so on. So but I think that there's I'm playing devil's advocate here now with this whole virtual thing. Is that yes, because things are big, technology, this is business is now being done more and more virtually, but at the same time, Leonard has a good point. Where are all those other lines gonna go? Because not everyone is on social media, not everyone reads the website, not everyone gets maybe the newsletter, whatever, and so on. So I almost wonder if it's gonna be even more difficult now walking the floor zone, because there's gonna be so many people who don't know about the whole system that will be trying to get the exclusions and so on.
Yeah, I think it's also going to prove. I mean, whatever we can talk about the exclusives portal now, I think it's going to be even more of a discussion when the autographs happen.
I just don't do autograph because
when that happens, things are going to go slightly mental on social media.
Because there was a lot of people at WonderCon that just didn't show up, right? I mean,
that's the thing. That's the thing. It's people who are going to virtually apply for these because they can. What happens when they then don't show?
The only thing I want this year, because there's only one exclusive I want so far, and that's the Dad Red Hood Funko. So, anyone who gets Funko, Funko exclusive, let me know.
Yeah.
I'll make it worth your while.
Yeah. Owen Mason, I think part of where the people is where the people go, where the people are going to go, is going to be determined on how the badge holders only zone is managed. Whether you queue on days you don't have a badge for. Interesting point. I can say no. No, I can't. I was going to say something. I was going to say something then, and then realized I'd get into a bit of trouble saying it.
What are you hiding?
No, I can't. It is relating to the badge holder area, and also the ability to go into that area if you have a badge beyond your actual day that you're attending.
I think it's going to have to wait to the end of the week and next week before.
Well, I mean, apparently, from what I've been told, they're waiting on the right language to come from several departments, not only CCI but also the convention center and also the city as well. So they're working on language to make sure they're not confusing people. Because
Can I throw in a couple of comments about this this whole thing with the exclusives and the autographs? Think about this in terms of like the badge sales for Comic-Con. To a certain extent, remember, it's fair for those people who obviously wouldn't have been able to do it before, and it gives those people an opportunity. Yeah, it kind of cuts out maybe the fans, the crazy people, whatever. I use the term crazy not in a negative way, okay? But I think it gives everyone else a chance too. And secondly, for the no-shows, number one, should tell the people if you're not planning to do it, that you should release that slot back, because everybody who's tagged as a no-show should be tagged in the future as not having a chance again. Especially if ahead of time you're not going to do it. Sometimes exigencies, something happens and you just can't go. And the other thing too is that there should be a secondary list, and people say, they put their name on that list. So they should say, if someone doesn't show up, would you be willing to do this? And then either stand in line over there, or else be willing to, have give them your number, and they send you a quick text message saying, hey, we've got a slot open. Do you want to take it? And then you have a chance to do it. There are ways to do this where we actually move into the 21st century, which makes it efficient so that everybody, if somebody's not there, somebody else has a chance. But they've got to move into the 21st century. That's just my thought.
I would like to have seen them use more of the app for push notifications.
There you go.
But
that's smart.
Yeah, that's something I was thinking of. Let's go through a couple of the comments that are coming through. I am quite interested about this one as well. So this is from Super Catchick. I'm wondering if the hardcore fans who spend all of con in line exclusives solely for exclusives will go to the booth anyway, even if they don't get booth access times, just to kind of see, or if they're just going to kind of in the hope that someone doesn't kind of show up, or even just, I'm wondering if there's going to be any kind of way of sort of swapping or just exchanging. I don't know how it's going to work.
Like a wristband or something.
Who knows? Who knows? Graham Small, I read on the frequently asked questions, you can't submit for exclusives if you don't have a badge for that day. I believe that was something that they've done in their back end, that you can't actually see the exclusives beyond the day that you've actually got your badge for. Yeah, let's have a look. Richard's mum. I applied for everything to see where the shit sticks, and there were 57 time slots total. Wonder what the odds are of getting everything. At which point someone replied, well, that applying for everything increases your odds of winning Sunday when most things are sold out. Yeah, that would just be the way that it works, isn't it?
That's horrifying.
It would be, wouldn't it? But yeah, Sarita P, I think, is put the main thing. It takes away from people that really want them. People that don't want them will get them. For example, the Mondo.
Yeah, I would think the Mondo. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was.
So, I mean, if anyone wants to get really kind of riled up, go and have a look on eBay at people who are already selling that Mondo print.
As someone who collects Mondo, that's not even half of my collection. So, I mean, I was very disappointed with the whole Mondo thing. I mean, I wasn't at first, but I've gotten real salty about it, especially after I've seen what's on eBay. So I totally understand people are going to be really pissed with the exclusives. Yeah. I mean, they really are going to be. I mean, there's going to be a shitstorm at that talkback panel. I mean, it's going to, especially those people who, that's the kind of their living or how they pay to come to Comic-Con is by getting exclusives and reselling all that stuff. I mean, there's a big business in that stuff. Yeah.
I believe the talkback panel last year lasted an hour. It was kind of done rather quickly. Not this year. Not this year. So yeah, I think it's going to be, I mean, as somebody who doesn't really do exclusives purely because I can't afford them, at the end of the day, I think I'm more curious about how it's going to affect the rest of the con. That's where I'm curious. Where are the bodies going to go?
There's going to be a lot more people in panels.
There's going to be a lot more people on the exhibition floor.
But you guys, the only thing about the exclusives is they're exclusives for a reason. So if they really want to sell a whole bunch of these things, they always could do that. But they keep a limited number because they want to increase their value. That's the ugly part about this whole thing. So remember, they can make as many of these things as they wanted to. We already know this. They can make as many as they wanted to. They choose not to. And so if somebody wants to sell it, I mean, that's American capitalism. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with it. And also, too, there's something they can do about it, because if you remember, like the Academy Awards statues, they're not allowed to sell those. If they decide to give them up, they have to give them back to the Academy first. Okay, that's one of the stipulations of actually winning. They actually have to sign a document. If anybody could choose to do that too, Funko or whatever, they could put a 1-year hold on these things, which basically says you can't legally sell those for a year. I mean, there are any number of things they could do. But remember, they choose to do it this way because that's how they want to do it.
Fair enough. It's a good point, and I think it's just going to prove interesting, and I'm curious to see how it's going to kind of pan out. Okay, let's kind of move on and talk about what our general thoughts are about what's kind of jumped out at you in terms of those gems those little panels, those little things that have maybe slipped under the radar of most people. What have you spotted that may kind of tempt you into a panel room out of the way, perhaps? We'll start with Andy. I mean, is it just the big rooms? Is it press rooms for you? Or is there anything that you've spotted where you've just gone, ooh, that tickles my fancy?
See, the thing, I always find out about the small panels once all the schedules are out. Like, some people, will let me know, like, oh, Andy, just, I'm going to have a panel, whatever, and so on. But, like, this year, it's been kind of quiet on that front. So, but I'm looking, I know that, I don't know if I can talk about it, probably yet, but one of my friends, he's doing a panel that I don't know has been announced that I'm kind of looking forward to see once it's more detailed about it. But yeah, once seeing the schedule, I think that's when it's going to become easier to kind of find out what I will be interested in. I'm always interested in like the writers panels, like the diversity and so on, and so that's kind of what's probably going to be on my focus. I know that it's kind of a layman's, I know, but it's like right now I don't know of what the smaller panels are going to be because all the big rooms have been announced so far.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, Leanne. I mean, is there anything that's kind of jumped out?
I'm kind of in that same boat. I mean, I'm waiting for those little ones to be announced. I mean, because I like to go through and I can actually sit and look. I'm looking for more of the diversity panels, and I'm looking for the small stuff, the small comic books that I haven't heard of or I've just briefly heard of. Our different artist panels that I love to go find all those. Aaron's good about announcing all the small comic books that I haven't heard of. So I guess I'm waiting to hear from Aaron on some of that stuff.
Fair enough. I mean, just to give an example of what I'm on about. For example, there's a panel on Thursday which is about the Toys That Made Us Netflix show. That's the kind of thing that floats my boat, and I'd be up for checking that out. It's just a case of now seeing whether I can actually make it to it. I don't know. Stephanie, is there anything that's kind of jumped out at you? I mean, admittedly, you're kind of stuck as well because you're limited to your days.
Yeah. I haven't noticed anything small, but I did notice something unusual, but it's kind of a large fandom. My Hero Academia is coming, which is an anime, which we usually don't have big anime guests, so I'm not sure how that's going to shake out. It's not small, but it catches my eye just because it's kind of unusual programming for this particular convention. I'd expect that at like Anime Expo, but not San Diego Comic-Con. So I'm interested to see that one.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. I'm right there with you.
I do have one panel, by the way. That, I mean, because it's going to be... Does smaller panels count if they're in smaller rooms?
Sorry?
Maybe. If they're small in a small room.
Yeah, and like, does smaller panels count as if they're in smaller rooms? Like, because the only thing I can think of right now is Young Justice because they got like room 7 or something like that and whatnot. I don't know. Even though that show is big, that's probably one of those rooms that I'm like, okay, that's probably one of the gems because it's an animated show.
Yeah. I mean, I think next week is when we were able to go through and find our gems when they do start announcing officially. As of, I mean, we're assuming this is where I'm going to shoot myself in the foot now. Assuming that they're going to be announcing as of next Thursday. I think you're right. I think there's lots of things that are being announced so far, but I'm also very curious about the fact that we've also not had any Conan news yet, and that also ties into the whole business of the programming, because they talked about this when they talked about Nerd HQ. Why is it so late that we're getting Nerd HQ panels? At the end of the day, they have to program around CCI's official schedule, and until it's nailed down in stone, they can't actually do anything. And I think that's where they are with Conan at this point as well, although I can imagine they're going to try.
Leonard, I'm going to pull an Alyssa on you. Before we go to Conan, I'm going to actually go back to a couple of panels for me. For Indigo, YouTube is putting out 2 shows this year, right? And I actually had access to the first 2 episodes of Impulse. Honestly, that actually looked good. And they've got another one here called Origins in Indigo Ballroom, right? and it stars Tom Felton. So the pedigree looks really good on that. It looks the premise looks good. I think it's worthwhile to maybe take a look at some of the newer stuff by something like YouTube, because they have a freedom there. They have money, because let's face it, they have God's awful amount of money over on that side of the house too. So there's a possibility, and like I said, Impulse is way better than I thought it was going to be. It was actually worthwhile watching it. It's a follow-on of Jumpers, and Jumpers was a marginal film, and all the mistakes they made in Jumpers, they did not make in Impulse. Okay, so it's actually a very tight drama. It doesn't fall into a whole bunch of tired tropes. It's actually good. Yeah.
Is it actually a direct sequel to Jumpers, or is it something that just kind of uses a very similar premise? Because at the end of the day, you do have Doug Liman, who directed that film.
It's in the same universe.
Right, it is in the same universe.
It's in the same universe, and so he kept it in the same universe, and so we're going to see some of the fallout from some of the things that happened in Jumper shit later on in the later episodes of Impulse. I haven't finished watching it yet because it's like, oh my god, I got 20,000 other things to watch, right? But
let me ask you this: is Hayden Christensen in it?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Is Hayden Christensen in it?
No, he's not.
Well, then that's a mistake they avoided. Good.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to fight. I will fight anyone that disses Hayden Christensen.
Well, let me know when he can act, and I will happily say some nice things.
You have not seen Jumper then, and you have not seen. You have not seen anything other than Star Wars.
Listen, I have seen Jumper. That's why I'm making this point. Jumper was yeah.
I love that film.
That was George Lucas. I'm sorry, but that acting and the whole thing on that one, the kid can act. If he's got a good director, the kid can act. Don't blame him for that piece of work.
I'll stand up and defend him as well. Sorry, Andy. Yeah.
Sorry about it. It's not my fault that he can't act.
Oh.
Fine. Listen, if we all listen. If we all liked the same things, it would be a very boring world, and you'd have a better record collection.
What?
I
beg your pardon? I have no record collection, just so you know.
I
believe that's called shots fired. That's what the crazy kids are calling it now. Anyway.
No, Leonard, that was a snap up. That was just a snap there. Yeah. That was.
Listen, Andy, I love you. And we will hug, and we will chat, and we will talk about our mutual love of.
You will hug. You will love. I will just be like, he dissed me on there.
Oh, wait. Who's pulling the knife out Andy's back?
I'm going to have to buy him so many drinks. It's just not true. Okay, right.
Well, you're picking the perfect year to do that, because I'm actually going to drink a little bit this year. So you're picking the perfect year. So thank you for that. Had it been last year, you would have been like, I'd be like, no, Leonard, it's fine. This job music could be like, yes, keep them coming.
So if we get in a fight with you on air, we get free drinks. Oh, hey, let's.
Everyone, this Hayden Christensen.
And this is going to be an expensive year for me. Okay, right. let's move on. So yeah, we've got Conan. We kind of got hasn't been announced yet. We're looking at possibly the next couple of days when that's going to drop. The dates are available on IOTA. If you actually one IOTA, sorry. If you actually go to the site, the actual dates are there, but they are not listed. They're grayed out. So it is just a case of Conan pulling the switch. And
Monday.
You think?
Monday or Tuesday, I think.
Fair enough.
Are you guessing, or are you fairly sure?
I'm guessing. I'm going by other dates. I looked at all the dates from years past, and I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing Monday or Tuesday. I don't know, because July 4th is on Wednesday, so I'm wondering if they're going to hold off until Thursday, because of the holiday.
Leanne, on the forum, there's been a lot of chatter about that, and so I Actually, I'm following that a lot more closely than I'm following the days and stuff, because people are talking about what they're going to go see. It's like, oh, okay, well, it's fine, but we don't know those yet. But the Conan thing is a big deal, though. That's not a trivial matter.
No, go for Andy. Go for Andy.
What do you guys think will be? What do you think Conan will have?
Aquaman. Aquaman. You know he's going to have Aquaman. Andy, you know that. You know he's going to be there.
You better get wet.
If we take a look at the pops that they've announced, this for the show. I mean, Predator, I think, is pretty much in there. What else was there? There was. I'm trying to remember what the 4 pops were now.
Was it Venom? I don't know. I don't even.
Oh, if there had been a Venom Funko, I would have been all over that mess.
No. Yeah. I think it was Predator. It was. I want to say the Flash. But if someone wants to jump in on the, I'm certain that Andrew's in there. I'm certain that.
Wait, which Flash?
Yeah, that's the question.
Hellboy.
Hellboy.
Hellboy was another one.
Oh,
Ant-Man.
That's one we haven't talked about. Was Hellboy? Is they bringing Hellboy to?
Apparently not.
No, nothing.
Apparently not.
Yet there'll be a pop. How interesting.
Yeah.
Those are probably planned.
And the X-wing pilot as well. So that could be your random one.
Ooh.
Okay. The X-Men pilot. Oh, you're the X-wing. Sorry, I was like X-Men pilot. That's weird.
Yeah, it's X-wing pilot. Okay. So I mean, no, I think Hellboy and I think Predator. Predator's one of them. But at this point, who knows? We're just going to have to hang fire and wait and see what they bring out. Again, it's a case of who is actually going to be announced as attending. So,
which Flash Funko was that?
No, it wasn't. It was Hellboy, X-wing pilot, Predator, and Ant-Man. Those are the 4 for the
Really?
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think the other. So that's the other one off-site we could talk about, and the other one I want to very quickly jump on and talk about. Is Fandom, which got announced yesterday, and I believe. Hang on 1 second. That's how long it took for them to sell out. So there we go. It really was a case of. It was indeed, but very true. For the I believe 2nd or 3rd year, this was announced via the SDCC unofficial blog. Went out on their social media. That's the only place they announced it. Didn't announce it on any of the Fandom social media, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. It was only on the unofficial blog. And like I say, anyone who had their notifications turned on for the unofficial blog were in there straight away. By all accounts, Mark Ronson is DJing this thing.
Who?
Mark Ronson? Are you serious?
Oh,
who's that? Who's Mark?
Oh my God!
Who's Mark Random?
Wow,
Mark Ronson.
Yeah, that's what I said. Mark Random.
Ray Ronson. You need to stop him.
I don't listen. I don't go to a lot of parties. Like I don't. The DJ thing. That's not really my area of expertise. So I'm sorry for not knowing the name of some DJ.
He's not a DJ. He's a producer. One of the biggest record producers, period, in the world.
Yeah.
Serious. This guy's huge.
I'm certain at some point you have danced to Uptown Funk.
Oh, he's a producer of that song? Oh, that's one of my jams. I twerked. One time I twerked so well to that song, and then
good God. Okay.
Oh
anyway,
that's mental picture.
Stop.
Yeah. So
I was wearing clothes.
A number of tickets went out that was via the unofficial blog. Apparently, the rest of the Fandom tickets allocated by themselves. They will be going live as of some point Monday. So, if you follow them on social media, I suggest you turn your notifications on if you're up for this party, because it's certainly something that could be of interest. Another one of the offsites that I very quickly want to talk about is the experience. I can say that Fandom were going to be involved in putting something inside the experience, but they are now going to be co-producing that instead of it being a dedicated space. They're also going to be co-producing the stage area. It was going to be a fandom stage. That's no longer the case. And also, I spoke to the guys behind the experience today, because they were supposed to be announcing what brands were going to be in the experience by the end of the week. I've been told now that that will be now out on Tuesday, and I've been teased that there will be a shark, magic, a satellite, and a marshmallow man. I don't know. Any ideas off the back of that? Big brands. So a shark, possibly Sharknado again.
Right.
Oh Lord.
Magic.
The Magicians?
Possibly. Okay. A satellite.
The Expanse.
Donald Trump?
The Expanse. The Expanse, maybe.
Whoa.
Yeah. And Marshmallow Man. Yeah. Owen
Ghostbusters?
Mason's Ghostbusters. Yeah. So there we go. But that's going to be that offsite. I mean, is there any offsites that you've spotted that you like the look of so far, Andy?
There's a Cloak and Dagger one at Petco Park. Yeah, I pay attention. No, I mean, I don't get to do the offsite event often either. So, but because it's so close this year, with the Cloak and Dagger one, I'm probably gonna check that one out.
Okay. I'm also thinking maybe it's the Meg, maybe for the shark.
Oh.
So possibly.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we know
Leanne?
if there's going to be Expanse? Do we know if there's going to be an Expanse offsite yet? No, I haven't heard anything.
I haven't
If there's anybody here who's going to know, it's Michael.
Michael and I should know these things.
Well,
but
I've been watching that, and I've actually been talking to a lot of different people behind the scenes, Leanne, and it's not clear right now. No one there's not an Expanse panel for sure, and in fact, I've been told that they're thinking that it's not going to happen. But again, we don't have the final things yet. But remember, Amazon's already announced their panels. The Expanse wasn't one of the panels that they announced.
Right.
Do they start shooting later this year?
Yeah, they start shooting in September.
Then that's probably why, because they're not like, there's a lot of shows that, that have been renewed, like Gotham and Eyes of Zombie and whatnot, and they're not bringing them, for example. So it's a sad trend, to be honest, but I understand why.
And an offsite on the Expanse. Remember last year they had the escape room, which is a hell of a lot of fun. So I don't know. I'm keeping an eye on this one, and then I've been talking to a lot of people. Like I said, the people I'm talking to are thinking they're not going to show up.
That's what I had heard too. So I mean, I was just wondering whether it'd be an offsite. The other offsite I was wondering about whether we get another Legion offsite. I missed out on that one last year. We did the DNA thing instead of Legion, which I was disappointed about, but wanted to do the Legion, but
I think
did the Legion one. Yeah, it was amazing last year. The Legion offsite. I'm sorry, I don't mean to rub that in your face.
No. I'm so glad somebody got to do it, because I had to stand there at the DNA thing with my daughter because I wasn't what she wanted to do. I watched and got, why can't we go over there and do that instead? But
the DNA thing, wasn't that from the Gifted?
Yeah, it was from the Gifted. It was cool. I mean, we got back our DNA thing. It was really quite interesting. I mean, I found out I'm a lot of Middle Eastern, which I had no idea. My daughter's got Nigerian on her father's side, so that's cool. So yeah, I mean, that was neat. But I just really wanted to do the Legion because everybody that came out of there was just like, wow. So,
Leanne, we're related on the Nigerian side.
Yeah,
yay!
You're my cousin. Yeah.
Is anyone from Malta? No, just me. Okay. Okay. Right. I think then I want to kind of start wrapping things up then, and just kind of going down the line about what your thoughts on Comic-Con so far are, in terms of, are you excited? Are you apprehensive? I don't know. What would your take be on it so far? We'll start with Stephanie. What's your take on Comic-Con so far? Is it a deep sigh, or are you jazzed at this point?
I'm looking forward to how different it's going to be. Because with all the properties that are not showing up, I feel a little bit freer to do new things. But at the same time, a lot of my favorite stuff that I want to come back, like Legion offsites, haven't, they haven't said it's not coming. And then things that I know will be there but have no details, like Conan, that's a little bit late because I think last year they had announced it the last week of June. So I'm anxious for things to be announced, but at the same time I feel a little more free because there's a lot of stuff that I feel obligated to do that I won't be doing.
Sorry, my notification's going a bit silly. I do apologize. Go on, what was that, sorry?
Oh, I kind of just said I'm anxious.
No, that's fine. No, I thought someone else jumped in. Michael, I mean, what's your thoughts on Comic-Con at this point?
I'm a little bit reluctant to say certain things and stuff, but it seems a lot of people I've read on the forums, some people have kind of noted that they're not impressed with what they're seeing. And I would suggest that we wait till we see the smaller stuff, and maybe this is the year where we actually get a chance to go out and look at the smaller stuff, where we don't have to stand in line for a day, to get into something the following day, which I think is a good thing, and a chance to go, a chance to go look at the floor and do something else, and then maybe the fact that they're blocking off the non-badge holders, maybe we'll actually be able to move around and get from point A to point B a little bit quicker, and actually go, maybe actually be able to walk all the way over from something in ballroom 20 and go over to the Indigo room or something. It's just life might be easier for us. I think this is a chance to see something new. Yeah.
Could this be the year where it's not a strong enough programming set up in Hall H on a Saturday where people aren't queuing up for 2 days?
Yes, I think that would be great. I think that's wonderful. I think that's a wonderful thing.
Okay. Leanne, I mean, how excited are you at this point?
I'm very excited. I mean, I'm glad it's changing up. I like things to change up a little bit. I hated waiting in line. I felt like I was always waiting in line for something, be nice to. I'm a little worried about extra people being in some of the smaller panels because they don't have lines to go stand in. But other than that, I mean, I like to find the odd and the different. And, I also don't spend my Saturdays in Hall H anyways. I gave up trying to do that a long time ago. Hall H is more of our Sunday thing, but, I'm looking forward to the change. Maybe I'll get to do a lot more off-site stuff this year too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to, because I really missed out on the off-site last year. I really missed out on Blade Runner. I missed out on all of it. So no, I totally agree. Andrew, is it because it is July the 1st? How excited are you? Is it now because it's so close? What's your thoughts?
Did you just call me Andrew? I
called you by your Sunday name, sir.
Yeah, my name is not Andrew. I don't know why people keep thinking that. I'm excited. I'm excited to have a good Comic-Con again. Last year I will be fully honest that it was probably my worst Comic-Con of all time. So this year I'm making up for it. So I'm excited to meet friends again, to be working, and hopefully some great parties in the evenings and whatnot. Hopefully I'm gonna drag, hopefully drag some celebrities, by talking about them because they're not good in certain movies. And but Comic-Con, it's like my utopia for nerdom. So I'm right now, look, I don't care if certain things are not going and whatnot. As long as there are things to still go to and do and whatnot, that's all that matters. If there was nothing, I would be like, okay, I'm not going. So yeah, I'm fairly excited.
Cool.
Team Hilton.
Yeah, that's what another reason, because I got Hilton this year.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, I mean, I think I'm with Stephanie and with Michael. I think I'm with all of you at this point. It is a case of, because it is at this point. I mean, the reason why I brought up apprehensive is because there is so much new change to what Comic-Con could be, but change is good. It's whether it's now changed for the better and where it can evolve from there. I hate to think of looking at a comic convention as to how it's going to affect 2019. I'd rather kind of live in the moment, but I'm going to try. That's basically what I'm going to try to do. So there we go. Excellent stuff. Thank you very much indeed to everybody for joining us today. I do want to say that we have had a message from Alyssa. She is wishing us all the very best from the Grand Canyon. That she's looking out and not missing us at all. She's just gone, no, I'm enjoying myself, so good, that's fine. However, she has posted, or she sent me very quickly, Week in TV. Yay! Hey! it wouldn't
but
be,
was there anything on?
It wouldn't be the show.
Tonight. Preacher is on tonight.
Preacher tonight, absolutely. Very quickly, because it is Independence Day this week, and with the summer season in full swing, a few suggested picks for this week. On Netflix, Lost in Space is on Netflix. The Last Jedi, it drops now on Netflix, and also The Sinner as well. On Hulu, you've got the League of Gentlemen, the Librarians, and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure apparently drops on Hulu. And also on Amazon Prime, you've got V for Vendetta and Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai. Fair enough. As for the actual television, we've got ourselves brand new. We've got Hulu firing up. Let's have a look at this. Preacher, like I say, Troll Hunters, Colony, and The 100. And I think I'm just looking at kind of like general picks at this point, aren't I? I think Michael's been the one that's been most instrumental in putting this post together. So if you want to kind of jump
Why do you say that? Why do you say that? No, actually, I had nothing to do with the post, actually, to tell you the truth.
Fair enough. Well, your name's at the top of it, so, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
No, it says Mario Wario, doesn't it? Doesn't it say Mario Wario?
Yeah. But also your name as well.
Really?
Luke Cage. Yeah. Don't forget about Luke Cage.
Luke Cage.
Yes, Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Mention that on the board,
yeah.
So.
You've also got ongoing for Cloak and Dagger, Big Hero 6 of the series, Supergirl, and Dragon Ball Super. Someone did actually mention as well in the chat room that they're very excited for Dragon Ball North American tour at the Marriott Marina Terrace. Okay. I'm going with the link that she sent me. So
for any Cloak and Dagger fans, you're gonna want to watch this Thursday's episode. It's has a very powerful ending.
Ooh, I'm looking for it. Yes, very good.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm enjoying that show, Andy. I really.
It is. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Just be ready for Thursday.
It's oddly an adult show with the teenagers in there. That's the interesting thing about it is we don't have that same old trope of that teen angst and blah 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 blah. Just you get.
Well, I mean, there's gonna.
I'm rather grateful that we're able to see it here in the UK as well, because it's streamed to Amazon Prime here in the UK. So we're able to see it here in the UK as well. I caught the first 2 episodes and then got swamped with other things, so I've got that to catch up with. So no, looking forward to it. Right, okay, so that's our show today. Next week we are going to be talking about the panels. Alyssa is going to be back, which means we're going to be possibly doing daily shows like we did last year. I kind of just jumped on YouTube and let's just talk about it for 20 minutes. By about day 3, we were doing like an hour breakdown of each of the days. It kind of like evolved into something kind of official. But no, by all accounts, we will be seeing the panels being announced as of this Thursday, officially from CCI. So fingers crossed for that. Something else that's going to be happening on Thursday as well, if you want to tune in. It was going to be down to him showing up on today's show, but it was all down to his schedule and he wasn't able to make it, which is kind of understandable because he is one of the hottest properties when it comes to nerd journalism. Anthony Bresnikan from Entertainment Weekly is going to be doing an incidental episode with myself on Thursday. It's going to be half an hour earlier than our usual broadcast time. So it's 9:30 a.m., 12:30 Eastern, and 5:30 GMT. But for about an hour, I'm going to be speaking to Anthony Bresnikan about what he feels about Comic-Con and also about what he's seeing on the horizon, which is attracting his attention. It's a little bit of an incidental episode that's going to be taking place this Thursday. So do subscribe to the channel. You'll get full notifications about when we go live. So there's that. Yeah. So that's our week. That's our week. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. So thank you very much indeed for watching us today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you're getting excited for Comic-Con, despite my kind of apprehension. I think we're all getting kind of jazzed about it now. And like you say, I think when the panels drop, it's going to be fun. It is going to be fun. So we've got all of that to come. And, of course, 4th of July this week as well. So to my American brethren, enjoy your country.
While it lasts.
While it's not on fire.
In America by July 4th.
Yes, as a Brit, watching everyone enjoying Independence Day, enjoy. Have yourself a good time. If you manage to catch my better half in San Diego next week, say hi, because she's going to be enjoying San Diego and I'm not. I'm still here in the UK for next week, but she's going to be enjoying the fireworks from the back of the convention center. She's going to be looking out at the whole thing. It's going to be quite a thing. So there we go. Right, very quickly going down the line, just to say thank you very much indeed, and also to find out where you are online and where people can find you. Andy, where can people find you online, sir?
I go last.
You go last. Fair enough. Okay. We'll start with Michael. Go on then. Where can people find you online and your work?
Okay. I'm at Mickelpea, MICLPEA on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. And then you can find me at Friends of Comic-Con. I write all the articles, obviously the Expanse articles, obviously, right? But other articles as well, too. So Friends of Comic-Con. So, and that's my nom de plume, if you will, Mickelpea, too. Okay?
Fair enough. Excellent stuff. And looking forward to seeing all the Friends of Comic-Con chatter as the panels drop. So looking forward to that. Leanne.
You can find me.
And it's great to have you on. Go for it. Go for it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. You can find me on Twitter, Little Red Ruby 74 on Twitter. I have Facebook, but Leanne Green, but I don't use Facebook very often. So. And then on the forum, Little Red Ruby 74. So pretty easy to find me.
Fantastic. And I'm just going to say again, I'm just grateful for all of your support, because you really do point out some great stuff when it comes to Twitter, and you point me in the right direction and you keep me straight and true. And I appreciate it.
No worries. You do hard work, and I enjoy backing you all the way. So
thank you very much indeed.
Everything you do.
Thank you. Stephanie. You're going to be a busy girl over Nerd Christmas. So go on then. Where can people find you?
My personal Twitter and Instagram is angel_ponders. My blog is The Geekiary. That's the GEEKIARY. That's on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest. We're everywhere. So those are the two places, personal and blog.
Excellent stuff. Looking forward to seeing what the Geekery do this year. And last but not least, and I know that there's going to be a lot of stuff that he wants to cover. Go for it. No, because you're a busy boy. You're a busy, handsome, charming, witty, erudite, attractive young man with lots of stuff that you keep doing. Andy, where can people find you online?
Handsome, attractive, doesn't seem right. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Andy Reback. I write for that hashtag show and fan site that I do the Flash podcast, Titans podcast, and the Sabrina podcast, and I also run the mall report. And yeah, that's where you can find me.
Excellent stuff. Thank you very much indeed, everybody. My name has been Leonard Sultana. You can find me online, of course, at Englishman SDCC. And again, please do support the channel by either supporting us with a like and a subscribe below. Do hit subscribe, especially if you want to know when we are going online with our special show on Thursday, and also with our panel schedule appraisals, which are going to happen this week. And of course, you can please support the Hangout by going to patreon.com/EnglishmanSDCC. Considering this is going to be the last time that the Patreon will actually kind of fund anything that we do for Comic-Con. So if you could, that'd be fantastic. So that's patreon.com/EnglishmanSDCC. Thank you very much indeed for your company. Hope you've enjoyed it. Enjoy your 4th of July celebrations, and hopefully you can join us for our shows next weekend, as we are 2 weeks away from San Diego Comic-Con.
Stop saying that.
Yes, I know. Next week is going to be the last one that I host here in the UK, and then I'm going to be in the US with Alyssa. So it's going to be a North America show. So if you happen to be in town, do let us know, because we may kind of dive in and do something on the last Sunday before Comic-Con. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your week. And from us to you, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
No.